point of that story was that my hands were so cold I couldn't actually even operate my camera, let alone an entire keyboard. But here is our first Zerg player.
MVP Monster.
Really has a lot to prove today. Monster, you know, Lucky, I feel like he has less to prove just because he's been around a little bit longer. He's kind of beaten a couple more players, but anyway, here's the opponent of Monster, though.
NAKSEO Lucky.
So Lucky.
And a 10 pool going down for Monster.
Oh, interesting.
Pretty normal to see a 10 pool on a map like this. It's a scarier build to deal with, but it's
Lucky. Sorry, hold that thought. Lucky's actually drone scouting, so he's going to see this. I was going to say, it's a good move of Monster to do that because it's such close positions that usually people just Overlord scout on this map. But Lucky, he's actually going to drone scout just to make sure nothing's going on, even though his Overlord will go there pretty quickly. And so he's going to spot this early rush. It's not going to expand.
Yeah, in fact, right now he's sending his drone down to make the hatchery. He's going to see this pool and sends his drone back immediately, makes his own spawning pool just to be safe. So nice scouting there by Lucky. Even so, though, the Zerglings are going to be out much before he has his own Zerglings, so he's going to have to make sure he micros correctly when those Zerglings get there, but he should be totally fine.
Yeah.
We're going to see how much Monster wants to commit to this as well. Queen coming out. No gases just yet for Monster either.
By the way, neither of these guys have very good records against their fellow Zerg players. They're both under 50% win rates. Of course, as you said, Monster did lose to Curious 0-2 last season. Lucky hasn't really played many ZVZs actually in general. He's only played one in GSTL as far as GSL games, but he did lose the series to Anyong in the ESV Korean Weekly about a month ago. So both these players kind of fighting in one of their less developed matchups, I would say.
Definitely so. Nice micro by Monster, actually trying to surround the larva so that when the lings come out, he's already got a surround. I really like that, but unfortunately does not really get that surround. Trying to engage this the best as possible. Look at that Zergling dance battle here.
Dance battle?
And looks like actually Lucky not going to get the better trade here. Well, I take it back. Looks like he just barely did.
He must have, just those last couple Zerglings popping out gave him just enough of an edge. Plus, he microed a little bit better there, I think. I didn't even catch what happened there, to be honest.
Well, Monster,
but I think it looked like he pulled his lings back a little bit better.
Monster, I think, over-moved commanded there because he was too scared of the drones coming out, so a few hits were given to Lucky before the battle started. I think Monster definitely had a better concave, but Lucky just had more hit points and came through in the end. Looks like we're going to see Monster throw in a hatchery pretty soon. He does have Zergling speed on the way. Both players Zergling speed about the exact same. It's 10 seconds ahead for Lucky right now. Baneling Nest going down for Monster right now. I was going to say that's way too early for Roachhorn, but looks like Lucky decides it's not too early for him to get a Roachhorn and a hatchery. So fairly large risk for Lucky to go for both in this case, but if he does get the hatchery up and he has the Roachhorn there, he can start building that Roach count really early and it'll be great for him.
Yeah, there's going to be a very crucial window of time where Lucky doesn't have many Roaches. Once he gets maybe 5 or 6 Roaches out, he's going to be pretty impervious to Baneling attacks, to mass lings, if he positions correctly. Maybe a little bit more than 6, depending on how bullish he goes with the ling attack.
Yeah, he's actually...
But there will be a window where he doesn't have enough Roaches to hold off the lings and Banelings that are going to come at him.
Well, he is going to make 5 Roaches immediately. He actually stopped droning for a while, and I really like this because he's behind in drones right now, but with these 5 Roaches, it's going to allow him to just hold off, keep this hatchery no matter what, keep his drones okay. Then when he gets the Roaches out, now that he's got those Roaches out, you can just start pumping out drones only because he'll have just enough to defend. He'll have that extra production from that hatchery, and Monster is going to be a little bit behind if he really decides to commit to Baneling aggression. Looks like he's actually making his Banelings defensively, however. Does have a few... Oh, I take it back. There's a few out here as well.
And they're going to meet up with the Roaches.
These Roaches may be enough.
I like how he's...
There's 5 more on the way.
Oh, that's going to be plenty of Roaches then. All he has to do is dance around a little bit for those extra Roaches to come out. There they are. He's going to be plenty safe against these lings. And I like how he left one on the ramp with the Queen, so there's no possibility of a run by. Lucky is completely safe. He's pretty much secured his expansion now. He's not quite safe enough to drone it up yet, but he can start building a Queen there and get his extra production going.
Yeah, and look at this. I mean, He's actually going to slowly ward these Zerglings away, and with the extra lings that he has made, he actually can just start putting drones at that expansion. He's completely fine at this point. Right now, the worker count, 28 for Monster, so Monster with a much better worker count right now, but his hatchery not quite finished yet.
And Monster gets supply block just to top it all off. Nothing going really right for Monster. He kind of realized what the situation was when he saw the roaches. He's made his own expansion, so he's trying to catch up. He's making his own roach warren as well, but Lucky got all that earlier, so he has been able to drone up like crazy this whole time, and that's exactly what he's doing. Can we check the drone count, actually? Yeah, 32 to 27. Actually, no, Monster's ahead in drones.
Yeah, Monster, after he saw that the hatchery's up and the roaches were out, he was like, well, I've got to just drone right now. He did not follow up with lings. But, you know, right now, with the way Lucky, even though he's a few workers behind, since he's already started to build his roach count, things are going to even out okay. And in fact, Lucky is going to always have the larger roach count as long as he makes sure, whoa, huge baneling hit there from Monster. But anyway, as I was saying, ooh, a nice scout. But Lucky is going to be so ahead in roach count that he's going to be the one who decides the pressure timings. He's going to be the one who bullies his opponent in stopping the drone production for a while he puts pressure on. Then he's going to send back and drone back. So the roach phase of the ZVZ has started, guys.
Yeah, no, and that was a beautiful scout because he saw exactly what Monster had. He said, oh, you have 4 roaches, I have 12? Well, in that case, I could just keep making drones for a little while longer. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's actually continuing to make roaches, though, as well. He's kind of mixing it back and forth, drones and roaches, so he can keep his drone count higher and get his drone... I'm sorry, keep his roach count higher and get his drone count as high as well.
Begin the drone wars have.
Oh, God. Oh, that's funny.
Well, right now... with the amount of workers, both players just still sitting even, 39 to 40 with Lucky in the lead. The roach count even as well, 18 to 16 in Lucky's favor. So Lucky just slightly ahead in everything right now, but he is as well ahead in his +1 missile attack for those roaches. So that's going to be something that's really going to start to slowly help him out here. And, you know, Monster continues to try to do these Zergling run-bys, but Lucky has just not actually lost anything from them.
No.
But I do like that Monster's doing this because it makes sure he knows absolutely, okay, the roaches are still in his base.
Yeah.
I can try to drone up a little bit back at home. I can scare him into staying in his base, perhaps.
Yeah, although Lucky is keeping a cache of roaches up in his main base. So Monster has not been able to scout the exact number of roaches that Lucky has. Monster probably thinks he's about even when in fact Lucky still has more roaches.
Yeah. In total right now, Lucky is 5 roaches ahead. Some Zerglings being caught here. I really like the denial of scouting that Lucky is doing. He's actually going to send the majority of his roaches down the right path away from the Zerglings. And now Lucky sees it with his Overlord. He is going to go for this Zergling counterattack, but since there's only a few Zerglings coming back...
Oh, and the Banelings are there waiting.
So smart by Lucky to have those Banelings there.
Very smart indeed. And here's the thing, Lucky has +1 and Monster does not. So this is a beautiful timing moving in when he has the upgrade advantage. And even roaches, those Banelings could make a difference if they get a nice clump, but no, he targets down the Bane. And it's not going to do any good. Looks like Banelings of Lucky are going to come in as well. He's going to try and bait those roaches in. The Banelings coming in. Oh, gets some pretty big hits. Yes, massive hits. Monster with a little bit better concave might have the trick here, but Lucky with the +1 advantage, getting a little bit more damage done. Who's going to come out on top? It looks like Monster is barely losing the battle, but will his reinforcements pop out and save the day?
Well, some Zerglings coming in here for Lucky as well, and it looks like this may be enough for him to clean up the roaches. Drones being pulled off the line, and it looks like this is so close, Mole Trap, but it looks like the roaches of Lucky are going to win out today.
And the real victory is the drones coming off the line, meaning that Lucky kills some drones in the process. Looks like Monster may just lose the game here, though. It may not have anything to do with the economy. GG coming from Monster.
I cannot stress enough, you guys, that is the definition of Ihan timing. Hit that +1 timing, came in there with 2 fewer roaches than his opponent. His opponent had a better concave even, but he came in with that perfect timing, had all of his Zerglings rallied in to arrive at the perfect moment. That was Ihan timing. That is what the Korean casters are talking about when they say this one timing. That is what he did. He hit that perfect timing. I'm so I was blown away by that. I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm not sure if he should be doing this, but you know what? He actually just bullied his way through, and the reinforcing Zerglings came in and finished him off. Awesome timing by Lucky. Great job hiding the Roach numbers as well. And having the Banelings at home to be prepared for the Zergling counterattack.
That was beautiful.
Awesome play by Lucky.
And I don't want to necessarily overemphasize it, but I do want to go back and point out that one Zergling that snuck into the main and scouted around, he saw no Evo Chamber. He had already started his Evo Chamber. I think he may have just started +1, or he at least had his Evo Chamber on the way or finished. So he knew that there was going to be an opportunity. So many times I see situations like that where one player has a timing, but they don't really know that they have it, and so they're too scared and they don't actually go when they could win the game. But because that one Ling snuck in there, he knew that he was ahead on upgrades. He knew that if he attacked when the upgrade finished, he would have an upgrade advantage, and he attacked exactly at that moment and was able to accomplish that timing as a result. So little things like that can mean a big deal. It may have gone for that timing regardless, but it's just something that at this level can actually make a difference. So very interesting.
Yeah, very true. I'm really impressed with the play by Lucky there. And Monster, he opened with a 10 pull. He transitioned out pretty well.
He did a really good transition out of it, actually.
He kept all the Zergling pressure on the entire time. He was always trying to find out the exact Roach count, trying to check the drone count and things like that, and perhaps catch his opponent off guard, kill some drones. But Lucky just played so safely. He hit his drones. He always had enough Roaches to defend the Zerglings, so you never fell to that pressure. Didn't lose anything.
Yeah. I was really impressed as well that Monster, like you said, he transitioned out of it, especially after like all the Roaches came out, and he was completely safe against the Ling Baneling attack that he planned. And then we look back and it's like, oh wait, actually Monster is even ahead economically and his expansion's almost finished. Yeah. That was amazing to me that he was able to, despite putting on pressure, get ahead economically eventually and stay even for most of the game there. But we're going to go to match number 6. It's going to be Nada versus Huck. Now, this is a game where I'm definitely torn as to who I want to win.
Well, the map is going to be Antigua Shipyard. The new GSL version with no gold bases. A great macro map for this matchup. We'll see who comes out on top. Will it be Huck or will it be Nada? Both these players at 1-1. Very important match for them both. We shall see who will come out on top. Don't go anywhere. It's the GSL up and down matches.